Now, where are we? In Hollywood, rehearsing a glamorous musical. What setting is this? Romantic, exotic, Spanish, certainly, but no film studio. It is the real-life setting of one of the loveliest, sunniest holidays in the Mediterranean, Palma, capital resort of the island of Majorca. As your plane approaches, your landmark is the great sunlit cathedral. Through all your stay here, even if you don't take time off from the sun and the sea and the lazy pleasures to climb the steps, the cathedral's Gothic magnificence will dominate wherever you sit or walk. Your costume or your jacket weighs on you damply, and you can't wait to get to your hotel. The choice of hotels is such as few towns in the world have. Holiday making in Palma is comparatively new, and so are the hotels, all with their views of the sea, their built-in swimming pools, their contemporary styling. You will have seen them strung along the coast from your plane, and not thought that one of these could be yours at the price you're paying. But one of them will be. The Acapulco, the Alcina, the Victoria, the Bahia Palace, the Majorca, and the San Augusta, and these are only a few of dozens.
Myself, my wife, and my small daughter. It was quite true what he said. The hotels are both luxurious and reasonably priced at the same time. We were very struck with these rooms, and straight away I put the hotel to the test by asking for a cup of tea. Very welcome after the journey. Meanwhile, the unpacking began. You know what women are when they arrive anywhere. Their first thought is to get the clothes hung up to get the creases out of them. There's one thing I did know. She's got a lot of summer frocks, and this time she'd have the opportunity of wearing them. You can be pretty sure of the weather in Majorca. Our small daughter had her summer dresses as well, and I'd got some lightweight things that I couldn't wear at home. The tea soon arrived. A quick cup, and we'd be out to get our first look around at Palma. While we were changing, I took a look out of the window. It looked beautiful. Below us was the patio, with many of the guests lying in the sun. The swimming pool, with its blue water beneath a blue Mediterranean sky, looked cool and inviting. The whole scene enhanced by glorious sunshine, to bring out the colors and set the seal on enjoyment. So, outside and into the swimming pool. Didn't show as much enthusiasm as she did. I think we felt it, though. We set out to get our first look at the town. We found quaint streets and little shops to be very intriguing. When you have the leisure of a holiday, and you're walking around in a warm, attractive climate, and you're in a place like Majorca, life becomes very pleasant indeed. Everything becomes of interest, whether you go exploring or sitting in a delightful shady spot, just looking. The streets themselves are quite busy, in a leisurely sort of way. It would be better to say that there's always something to see. You don't see many horses and carts at home nowadays, but they certainly fit in with these surroundings. It all seems quiet, despite the cobbled streets and the rhythmical tap of the horses' hooves. It brings back childhood memories. But even so, I don't seem to think that it was as quiet and leisurely as this when I was a youngster. Anyway, it's all part of the holiday. You can see windmills like this in many islands of the Mediterranean, but these particular ones are for show only, since in Palma, they're on nightclubs. There are quite a lot of cabarets and quite an interesting nightlife there. You needn't find it dull in the evenings. Right now, however, we made our way to the little harbour. We strolled along the quays with their funny little boats with extravagant names. There are larger ships, too. But some of the visitors never seem to leave the swimming pool. The most energetic dive in. Energetic or not, the lovely swimming pool of our hotel offered endless enjoyment for all, whether young or not quite so young. Many prefer to slip quietly into the pool to cool off between devoting themselves to getting a tan.
Getting holidaymakers to leave Palma for the other resorts is not at all an easy job for a travel agent. What with the sun and the sea, they always say they'll go tomorrow. Tomorrow, mañana, is the first word they learn in Spanish. With a little persuading, though, they'll go to the Castle Belvedere in Palma itself. The first sight, and invariably they say they wouldn't have missed it for the world. The stroll around the 14th century cloisters and the giddy height of the tower intrigue them into asking for more. Not that Palma is the only place to stay. There's Pollença, on the northeast of the island, for those whose preference is for comfort and peace away from it all. Instead of the hubbub the ancient Roman sailors and traders used to make when this was an imperial harbour 2,000 years ago, the air is languid now. A few fishermen who don't catch much, and just the town for relaxation beside the best of seas, the Mediterranean. A short boat journey away is Formentor, one of the loveliest beaches in the whole of Majorca. This is where the millionaires tie up their yachts when they happen to be passing to show their guests the straw sunshades. It is nearer than the South Sea Islands, but how like. This is for those who don't like to be cluttered with other people, those who like to feel they own the whole view. Formentor, where there is little but the South Sea Island beach and the one luxury hotel. Whichever way you go in Majorca, you come soon again to the sea, where there's always a cafe, a thirst-quenching sight after the sunburnt journey. In a more northerly direction is Sóller, made for those who prefer beaches flanked by wild rocky cliffs, but not too lonely a day, and an evening making friends. If you're one for a compromise, there's always Cala Major, right next door to Palma itself. Within a short bus ride of centre town and the nightlife there, Cala Major has hotels and swimming pools just like Palma, but perched over beaches and cafes more like Pollença and Formentor. A favourite hotel here is the La Cala, which has both a swimming pool and a wide beach. Formentor, Pollença, Sóller, Valdemosa. These are easy, leisurely journeys from Palma. But there is one journey that yearly is getting more popular, to an even smaller island 90 miles away, where the scene is in such contrast with Majorca that the 9-hour boat journey and a few days' stay are well worthwhile. This is Ibiza. It's called the White Island, and when you see it, you'll realize it could not have been called anything else.
I can endorse that. We had booked in as Ibiza too as part of our holiday. It is quite enjoyable. The same sunshine and climate, many interesting things to see, yet somehow different. It was very reasonable here, too. In fact, you could say that you made up the cost of the fare by living much cheaper when you get there. You really want to visit Ibiza while you're in that part of the world. Here, the windmills were doing the job they were really meant for, pumping water. But there are many other interesting things to see. The snow-white buildings seem to spring from Moorish architecture. I'm told it's just like North Africa, and you could imagine Arabs fitting into a setting like this. At every point, these attractive buildings, the same gleaming whiteness. I was surprised to see a train on such a small island, but I soon saw the reason. As if Ibiza were not white enough, there was this mountain of salt made by evaporating seawater in the sun. The quaint straw hats of the workers seemed like a good idea, and there was plenty of choice. Down at a nearby souvenir shop, we bought one each. We stayed in Ibiza town itself. It had many surprises tucked away. It's a real old world place, with age-old stone steps to reach the different levels. Our hotel was at the top of some steps, but the climb was worthwhile, because our bedroom had a view like this. Outside our bedroom window was a balcony anyway, and it was always cooling, but exciting, to pop out now and then to take a look at the view. But it's not all town. Far from it. We made the trip to San Antonio, where there is a beach and bathing. We met a lot of other visitors here. Most of them seem to come to Ibiza every year for the good food, the cheap drinks, and a darker suntan. And so the days flew by. We took the boat back to Palma for the last week of our holiday. We seemed to have been gone from Palma for much longer than we had, especially as we had such a welcome back from the many friends we'd already made in Palma. The lovely surroundings and everybody's continuous enjoyment makes it a very happy atmosphere. And everyone is so friendly. We'd never have met them if we hadn't come here. And we've all promised to keep in touch. I wonder if we will. Time was becoming very precious, with the days spinning by to the time when we must return home. Perhaps most of us felt like that, sitting in the sun, enjoying every moment of it. There were people much like ourselves. So you can add to the sea and sunshine and the picturesque surroundings the friendliness of it all and the people you meet. But holidays are not only while you're actually there. They come back in the memory from time to time during the years. I feel sure my memories must include the friendly local people. The fishermen, like fishermen all over the world, mending their nets. And little homely touches, but looking so different in these surroundings and the continuous sunshine. registered in my memory are little scenes like the grapes ripening in the sun. The wine. It is hard to realize now that it is cheaper than mineral water. But then there are many vineyards, and to see the harvesting of the grapes forms yet another memory of golden days. I shall not forget Valdemosa, the villa where Chopin lived, and where we saw some natives in their attractive dress, and they danced for us. Tomorrow, we leave Majorca for home. We've got everybody's address, and they've got ours. Somehow, we find ourselves meeting for a final toast. And what better than Spanish champagne for the purpose? Cool champagne in the sunshine. A toast to you. A toast to me. A toast to the sun. And above all, a toast to Majorca and the wonderful holiday we've had. A toast to all of us. We work all the year round, and we deserve champagne. See you in Majorca next year.